and welcome to the ThreeWill podcast. This is your host, Danny Ryan. I'm here with Tim Coalson. Tim, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good, Danny.
Good. Another quarter's passed. It's amazing how quickly 3 months can go by, huh?
Time to talk again.
Time to talk again. You don't want to write a blog post. No, you don't want to sit around for a couple hours just looking at a blank screen and saying, what have I been doing lately? What have you been doing lately? Same project that we've talked about a couple times, right?
I have been. So today I actually thought I would sort of switch gears from a technical topic and really more one, I guess, kind of HR related.
That's great.
Recently I was at a function and sat next to a guy, and as you know me, I don't meet a stranger, so I start talking to the young man.
Everyone knows Tim Coalson. Yeah. I've learned that.
I realized this guy, he's an IT guy, so I start talking to him about what he's doing, and just so happened, he's into the technologies that we're using. So
nice. As
is my normal course, I start asking him, does he like what he's doing, and just and tell them a little bit about our company. And when I see people like this, I'm excited to tell them what we're doing, and if the opportunity arises that they are looking for a new opportunity, to give us a call. So I told him about our company, and then followed up with him, and most recently we had lunch together with this young man, along with one of our managers, just to get a sense for, what's this person about, what are their interests, because, one thing that we know is important for anyone that we want to potentially hire is one that, we're always looking for what is that person's passion, and then, of course, then looking for what do our customers need, and where those two intersect, then you got a great combination of the passion and the need, and they come together. So it turned out from our discussion with this young guy, he's a very motivated person. Seems like a person of integrity, and so we were excited to get to know more about him. So we're going to continue on through that interview process. But that sort of got me thinking about what are really the types of characteristics of people that we want at ThreeWill. First of all, we want to make sure that they know who we are. We're not trying to hire someone under some sort of deception, making them think we're something we're not, because we know long term they're going to come here and they're not going to be happy if their expectation wasn't set. So we like to be very transparent, and okay, this is who we are, this is what our values are, and does that align with your interests? So for me, that's always very important, that we make sure that people know who we are. We're looking for long-term relationships. We enjoy and value working together for a long time. One, you enjoy it, but then two, there's a benefit, because as you work together more, you learn each other's strengths, your weaknesses. You learn to mitigate those things that aren't as strong, and accentuate the areas where people are the strongest. So we definitely believe a long-term relationship is best, not only for us as a company, but really long-term for our customers.
I think one of the places I often send people to on our website is there's a culture page where it goes through what our shared values are, and a lot of it's tough because a lot of people there's overlapping values with what a lot of people would say that they have as internal values, but you'll find out if people live them day in and day out. And one of the things that I put on that page was a person who represented that value. It wasn't necessarily the best person to represent that value, but some person who sort of reminded me of that value. And of course, like everything, all my writing that goes on when I'm, I suggested a quote that they put, and they may or may have not modified what the quote is, but it's a good place for you to go sort of see what is it. What are the, when we say that, what's it like to be at ThreeWill, what do we sort of share as we're making decisions together as a group? I think the way that you do it is you talk about your shared values.
Yeah, one of the as I thought more about this, I realized that the actual technical skills really was fairly low on my list, because I think you can find a lot of people out there with technical skills.
Yep.
It's really a matter of, like you just said, from a culture perspective, will that person fit in? Because there's a lot of people with a lot of skills, but there's not a lot of people who communicate well, who are humble, who are team players. A lot of times people really are sort of out to their ego. They like to feed their ego on either the code they write or something else, and that's really not what we're all about. What we're all about, we even our compensation is structured in a way that only when the team has success does the individual get the bonuses or the compensation. So it's really more about what we as a team can do together, not what me as an individual can do, whether or not my, peers do good or not. We're, incented to work together. And I think generally the people we hire, that's what they're all about. They're all about teamwork. So part of that involves a certain amount of humility that when there's areas of a project that maybe I'm not as strong in, and I think I need help, the willingness to ask one of my peers for their input, for their feedback. So certainly being a team player is a big part of our culture, as well as humility. And of course, with consulting in general, good communication skills. You got to be able to set expectations with your customers. We don't want customers to be surprised by anything, which part of our process involves a 1 or 2 week sprint. So we're regularly communicating to our customers, usually on a daily basis, but even if not on a daily basis, at least a week or two at the minimum, to keep them up to speed on where we are in a project. So we want to make sure that customers aren't surprised by anything, that we keep them up to date on a regular basis, that they're involved in the process of understanding, okay, here's what the concerns are, here's what the risks are, here's what our options are, let's make a choice and move forward. So being able to articulate that to a customer and being able to keep expectations set is certainly important to our customers, as well as internally, to be able to share where you at on whatever pieces of the project you're working on. So good communication, certainly a big part of it.
Excellent. What else were some of the other things?
We're really about solving business problems. I mean, technology is not the end. Technology is a means to an end. So for us, it's making sure we have people that really, it's not about trying to continue to pad their resume by learning new technologies just for the sake of learning new technologies, but to really be focused on solving our customers' business problems, helping them be able to collaborate, work together, be more successful. So just finding someone that really solving the problem is their goal, and technology is just a means to that end, not the end itself.
Excellent. So what I'm just interested, because you were talking about this earlier, which was what's the first couple things that you say about working at ThreeWill? Not to put you on the spot, but how do you describe the environment here?
Yeah, for me, I guess part of it is just in contrast to hearing other people talk about their jobs. For me, we have an open door policy, so I'm constantly talking. Being a relatively small company, I'm always talking to the leaders of our company. So it's I don't have a lot of bureaucracy, this management structure that I have to go through to talk and about things or express any concerns, and so it's a very transparent environment. So it's, to me, I enjoy that piece, just being part of what really is a team, where we do work together. It's not about one person, about what they can accomplish, but it's really about teamwork and about how together we can help our customers be successful.
One of the things along with that, and it's just sort of a side note, we share a lot during the monthly company meetings about sort of how the pipeline is, how we're doing as a business, It's interesting because I think with Tommy and I, we want to share what we can, but we also don't want you guys to worry about certain things. Sure. You have to do this on projects as well, right? You want the client to be informed, but you don't want them to not worry about, they don't have to worry about certain things.
Right. There's, technical details at times that really a customer can't help with. So there's really no need to, we involve them to the extent that that they can make a difference. We don't want to unnecessarily burden a customer with things that are really outside their scope of influence. So certainly if it is within their scope, then we want to be transparent and let them know about whatever the risk is and tell them what we think the options are, and of course get their opinion as well. And then together, come up with what's the best path forward. So
I think with us, it's the things that you can control, or at least have some control over, is, I know you've been on a project for a while, but I think this is sort of why we look at utilization, because it's the one you can't really control that much what your bill rate is.
Sure.
But you can look at the project and look for ways that you can help out on the project and trying to grow what you're doing or take on new things on the project. That's sort of the one area where you have at least could have the potential to make decisions and to maybe build up a skill or be able to apply yourself to be able to make a difference. And so it's just it's interesting to see how that factors in.
One of the things I think about, particularly as I talk to young people, is I think with our company, most of us are pretty seasoned veterans. I mean, I've been doing consulting now since, I've been doing IT since 1988. I've been doing consulting since around 2000, so that's about 17 years. So, as you talk about developers versus consultants, there's a big gap in there where I view a developer as someone that, is really all about writing code. Whereas a consultant is really about understanding the business, understanding the people, helping define, what this application should look like, helping define the requirements. And so it's a much broader, bigger communication piece. And then there's, of course, the management, to make sure the right things get done at the right time. That way, come the end of the project, then, everything's in order. So as I talk to young people, I just think of all the experience that they can gather here at ThreeWill by working with, more seasoned consultants to learn some of the, they may know the technology pieces. In fact, they might even know some newer technologies than we've actually used. But the piece that we can help them with is the consulting part. They can learn, how to better manage a project. I hear so much about failed projects, and we rarely, if ever, have those here at ThreeWill, because we manage things so tightly. I just don't see that happening. But I hear, statistically that, how many, IT projects fail, and it kind of blows my mind. Just thinking about how much time and money has been wasted on that. So, for us, the Scrum process, the Agile process, is just so important to make sure that we do stay on track, that our customers are making decisions all along the way, that together that we can be successful.
Anything else to add before we wrap up here?
I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule, and you'll continue to be on the same project for a while now, or?
Right now, I think we're to the end of the year. We've signed contracts, or soon to be signed contracts.
Okay.
So, it's great to work on the same project and to see it continue to mature.
That's great.
Over time. So.
That's great. And I appreciate you staying on. You're sort of the what's going on here at ThreeWill. I think Tommy and I rely on you just sort of getting a sense of what's going on inside of ThreeWill. And I appreciate you, because you honestly care about other people, and it shows, and it really comes out. And so we appreciate you, just who you are as a person, how much you care about other people. And it is more than what we're doing on projects. It's just the human being able to relate with other people and being able to really care for other people, and you're really good at that. And we really appreciate you, Tim.
Thank you, Danny.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. It looks like we're slowly getting more and more softer as we talk and we go along. We'll see if I can fix that. Oh well. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen. Obviously, if you're interested in ThreeWill, it's a great place to be. It's a nice. It's a great culture here. It's a consulting environment, so it's pretty fast-paced, but it's a place that, Tommy and I are really want to be a place that you love to work at. And so if you're interested in learning more, come to ThreeWill.com. Get underneath the company section of our website, you'll see something about our culture. Go into there and sort of look at what different people at ThreeWill say about working at ThreeWill. It's a good place to start, and you can also see job openings and start the whole application process on the website. So definitely drop by, see if there's any openings that look like something you'd be interested in doing. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.